Brits are an interesting bunch. I feel like that's a lot of the stuff for England, is that mum said it and I don't know why, but she did. I've been in some of those and they're just as disgusting, if not more disgusting than you can imagine. The more north you go, the better the insults get. Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, I am Yvette and I moved to the UK in May 2019 and I'm just documenting my experiences. So one thing I've noticed in the UK, which is not a surprise, but like it's always different when you experience it, do you know what I mean? Is the amount of like odd phrases I guess you guys have. Is that the right word? I want to say odd. It's just like things I've never heard anywhere else. How's that? The Brits will describe things so creatively, particularly the Scots. Scots insults get me. Yeah, basically the more north you go, the better the insults get. They're way more creative. They'll use no swear words and they'll be so much more insulting and I love it. I'm not here to talk about swear words, however. I'm just here to tell you all of the phrases that I've only heard while in the UK. And I can also tell you their meaning. So if you're a foreigner watching this, maybe I'll educate you. But Brits are an interesting bunch. One of the most British phrases I've ever heard is a few sandwiches short of a picnic. So it's a bit, you know, basically she's not all there. She's, you know, a few sandwiches short of a picnic, which is just like, so quintessentially British. You got picnics, you've got sandwiches. It's like being like quite polite about calling someone an idiot. It's like, I just love it. A few sandwiches short of a picnic. This isn't a phrase, it's a word I've never heard before and I think I still might be pronouncing it wrong, so I'm sure I'll get a lot of lovely comments educating me. But it's basically anorak. It sounds like something from a sci-fi film, you know, gotta get the anorak to defuse the bomb. But it is in fact a raincoat from my knowledge. I might be completely wrong. So it is a raincoat, but people will use it as an insult, which I don't fully understand, but it's the only place I've ever heard it. Still don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, so. One very common one in the UK that I kind of don't like, and I'll explain why. It's called bog standard. And just the concept in general, okay, so bog standard in first is like, bog standard means like standard basically. You don't need to say bog. Secondly, bog is toilet, so I don't know why you're talking about it. And also, bog just conjures me. I don't actually know, you guys can educate me. When I hear bog, my imagery is an outhouse. So like a hole in the ground in 40-degree heat, smelling as you'd imagine. And I've been in some of those and they're just as disgusting, if not more disgusting than you can imagine. So when I hear bog, I just think of that like pit of disgustingness and the smell, and it's like, it's almost visceral. So they'll also say bog roll, which is toilet roll. Like it's just the image in my head, which it's probably like post-Australian trauma, which there's a lot of, which maybe I should make a video on. Things about like not wanting to sit on the grass because you'll hurt yourself. Things like that. Another word or phrase I haven't heard since moving to the UK is brolly, which is a casual way of talking about an umbrella. And the funny thing is, brolly to me sounds Australian, which they may well say in Australia, wouldn't surprise me. I just didn't think we have to use umbrellas enough to use slang, which is saying something for a country that loves slang. They say budge up, which is like squish up, I guess, is like to make room. Really like short and sweet one, but I also had never heard that before here. Another one I had never heard is builder's tea. It seems, man, anytime you mention tea, it's like getting into like geopolitical discussions in the comments, but builder's tea seems to be a stock standard way of making tea. And I think, maybe this is silly, but I thought it was just from when you were getting work done on the house and you had a builder in and you want to be polite, so you offer them a builder, like, you do want a cup of tea, and then you make them tea and it's a builder's tea, and there you have it. Bob's your uncle. Brings me on to my next one. Bob's your uncle. I have known about this because I do watch TV, but I think it's always funny to watch an American learning that for the first time. They're like, who's your uncle? It's like, Bob's your uncle. I was like, I thought your uncle was Terry. It's very funny. Bob's your uncle just means like, there you go, here you go. Bob's your uncle. Next thing you know. This next one got me so much. So there's Cockney rhyming slang, as I've mentioned in many videos, is very confusing. However, there's one which is butcher's hook, means have a look, but people have shortened that to have a butcher's. So they'll be like, oh, have a butcher's over there. And you're like, have a look. It's like, have a look over there. But like, if you'd have no idea, they're like, what are you on about? Why are you, what? So yeah, have a butcher's. Cack-handed. I know this one, I want to put it in anyway because it's very British, but I did actually know it because of my mum, and I have no idea why she wrote it, why she said it. I think if someone did something weird, she'd be cack-handed, but that's not right. I think it's just left-handed, isn't it? No, it's just if you do it uncomfortable. My mum said it all the time, and I don't know the context, but she did. I feel like that's a lot of the stuff for England, is that mum said it, and I don't know why, but she did. Next one is a chin wag. It's like if you like having a little discussion, just having a chin wag. We're just having a chat, nothing major, just having a little chin wag. I like that one a lot. There's also chock-a-block, which nothing is chock-a-block at the moment because everything's empty. So normally you would say the tube is chock-a-block, but no one's on the tube, which is good. Everyone stay home. I would like to leave my house at some point, so please stay home. The sooner you stay home, the sooner I can get out. Probably my favorite British word of all time is codswallop. It's like rubbish. Oh, codswallop. I should say it more. It's fun. I need to say it. I love codswallop. I feel like a lot of this list is going to be Cockney rhyming slang, but cream crackered is knackered. It's Cockney rhyming slang. So people will just say, oh, I'm cream crackered. Yeah, they'll just say, I'm cream crackered. And you're like, can I help you? I don't know what you want. But yeah, they're just tired. Next one infuriates me because it doesn't sound like a word. Dench, it's like cool, like alright cool, like good, like alright good, I don't know. I thought they were talking about Dame Judi Dench for a long time. That was very dumb, but that's, you never know in this country, you never know. I can't remember if I've discussed this or not, but one thing that often trips myself and Daniel up is saying fit, because like I like fitness, I like to work out, so I'm always talking about how fit I am, but also fit in the UK can be like how hot you are. So I could be like, oh yeah, I've been feeling pretty fit this whole lockdown, but what I mean is I've run 10Ks every day for 70 days. So it's confusing, and it makes me feel like I come off very stuck up, which I'm not at all. So I'm like, makes me awkward to be like, oh no, I didn't mean that, I just meant like burpees. Just meant marathons. Probably one of the other most quintessentially British phrases that I've only heard in the UK is full of beans. So it's like when you're a little kid and you're super excited and you're bouncing around and you're like, oh my God, you're full of beans tonight. So yeah, that's another one that you need to know if you're gonna watch anything British or even come here is gaff means home. Come to my mum's gaff. Come to my gaff. Gaff. I had no idea, and I think it's a northern thing, but very confusing if you don't know what they're saying. So another term that gets thrown around in the UK, or in London anyway, is geezer. So geezer should be like, it's supposed to be like an older posh guy, but then now people in East London get called geezers. Like, I think it's just like a lad. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was like, oh, he's a right geezer, he's a lad. Someone named their dog Geezer, and I thought that was a great dog name. Come here, old geezer. Such a good dog name. This one's one of my favorite phrases, just because it sounds so wrong, which is so much of British culture, is that like it sounds a bit more risque or raunchy than it actually is. So this one is give me a tinkle on the blower. So I think that just conjures certain image that is not right. It means give me a phone call, but I think people probably imagine something a little bit different. Gobsmacked just means like, literally like, if this is your gob, you're smacking it, you're shocked. Isn't it? I often say isn't it, and I think it's like, it's just such an easy, fun one to say, and you can see yourself slipping into it if I'm honest. So you'd be like, oh, it's hot today, isn't it? Instead of isn't it, you like mumble it, which as an Australian, I promote mumbling at all times. For the record, I won't be going over anything that means drunk, because I could make an entire video on just terms the Brits use to describe someone who's drunk. But the next one is on it like a car bonnet. I like how much things rhyme in this country. Basically means, oh, have you sorted out the, I don't know, project for blah de blah, like have you organized the flowers for the wedding? You'd be like, oh, I'm on it like a car bonnet, like I'm all over that task. There's also one that is called on the pool, means like flirting, like if you're out to find a companion, you're on the pool for the evening, like yeah, flirting basically. And then my last one is over egg the pudding. So many of these are so quintessentially British, but this one particularly means don't overdo it, don't over egg the pudding, just calm down, less is more. You've got a too much gene, which I relate to. Skew if means basically something's crooked. I think I may have said that one before. Anyways, there you have it. That is all of the words that I have found to only exist in the UK. There are so many more, so if you enjoyed this one, let me know. I can make a part 2 if you would like, because trust me when I say there is a never-ending list of videos I could make on this topic. So if you liked it, give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. Tell me your favourite British slang phrases. They don't have to be insults, but I wouldn't be angry if they were. And remember to hit subscribe so I can see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.